So it's Monday the 17th of July, and I am prepping some meals for breakfast. Easy breakfast for the week, mostly for my husband who needs things to take with him, but also I will be eating some of this. So these are some breakfast potatoes that I am cooking up in a little bit of olive oil and bacon fat. There are some shallots from the garden and one little pepper that I had to pick from the garden because it had a sunspot, as well as salt and pepper. And then at some point today I'm also going to make some egg cups. Last time I made like a specific spinach and feta egg cup. This time I am just going to use things that I can find, bunch of veggies, bunch of different types of cheese, and they will be delicious. I didn't record making this, but Monday night, July 17th, dinner is steak cooked in the air fryer, tomato basil salad. Some of these tomatoes are from the store, some are from the garden. Basil is from the garden, onions are not. Olive oil, salt, pepper, and balsamic vinegar. I am finishing up shishito peppers right now. I made a little dipping aioli with lemon juice, salt, pepper, garlic, and mayo. And then I had zucchini, not from the garden, but it was in my garden. What am I trying to say? It's been in my fridge too long. So, my grandmother used to make zucchini, dip it in egg or milk. We were trying to discuss that the other day and figure it out. I mixed a little bit of egg and a little bit of milk, dipped it in rice flour. She would have used regular flour, and then fry it in olive oil in a pan until it is nice and tender and crispy on the outside. And then we used to dip it in like a homemade Thousand Island dressing. I don't have relish right now, so that's not something that I can do, but they are still delicious. So that's dinner for Monday night. So for Tuesday night dinner, I am making brats in the crock pot, and we will have salad on the side because I have a bunch of salad stuff I need to get rid of. So I am adding in, this is about half of a sliced onion. Add in some of these brats. Because I use so many brats, I'm going to use this entire package of sauerkraut just as is and dump it in. Last thing that goes in is a bottle of beer. If you're not gluten-free, you can use any beer you want, but I use this Red Bridge. Oh, I also have Sharpie on my finger that I can't get off, but I use this Red Bridge and it tastes great. This usually only takes about 3 hours. I'm going to put this on high and keep an eye on it. If I notice it's getting too cooked, I am going to turn it to low and let it keep going. Sometimes I even have to put this on warm until dinner, but it's so quick and easy, and they come out so tender and delicious. Definitely tastes better than it looks, I promise, but here's dinner. Bratwurst, the sauerkraut cooked in the beer with the onions, and salad with gluten-free croutons. So it is Wednesday the 19th, and I am not cooking dinner tonight. We're doing leftovers, but I have a ton of veggies that need to be used up. Some are from the garden. This is tomato basil salad that's left over, but I like roasting it if it goes soft because it's still totally edible, just not pleasant raw. And I also threw some broccoli in there. I'm going to coat it in avocado oil, salt, pepper, and garlic powder and let it roast. And then we can just have it in the fridge as a side. And maybe tomorrow all I have to do is make a protein. So these are what walking onions look like. I have cut off the green, and I harvested these yesterday. They were starting to get dried out, but they had tons of dirt on them, so I just gave them a quick rinse. Here's some that I prepped yesterday. They're not great for shelf storage, but if you chop them up, you can use them just like onions in your recipe. They're kind of like in between an onion and a shallot. So I'm going to go ahead and chop a bunch of these up. I'll show you a few minutes of me dealing with them. There is like a hard stem part that goes all the way to the bottom. I'm not sure what that's called, so you do have to pull that out, and then you can chop them up and freeze them. So what I usually do is deal with all the messy parts, put them in a bowl, wipe off my cutting board, and then do the chopping. I will wash everything up before I start chopping for freezing. This is a very dirty job. Here are all the little onions. I'm going to chop them up and add them to this bag and see how many I end up with. Alright, I got, this is a quart size freezer bag, and this is how much I got. Okay, I don't think there's ever a video where I'm not fixing my hair. It's been super busy here, but good news is they started the insulation. They insulated the ceiling and the second floor, and they started insulating around some of the, what are they called? The tubes for the HVAC system. So that's great, and I'm just going to turn you around and quickly show you what I'm having for lunch. I'm repurposing leftovers in a new way. So what I did is I took those bratwursts from the other night with the sauerkraut and onions, and I chopped up the bratwurst, put some butter in the pan, and then I took those roasted veggies that I did the other day, and I added those in, and I'm kind of making a little stir-fry bowl situation, and that is what I will be having for lunch. If I am still hungry, I may have some cottage cheese with lunch as well. Alright, it's still really hot. I'm going to let it cool, but that is my lunch, and I do think I'm going to put a little not sour cream, cottage cheese on the side so I can have something creamy with it. So I just wanted to quickly show you, my dad gave me these gigantic yellow squash that got away from him in his garden. They're kind of tough, but if you shred them up, they're great fiber that you can add to things like chili, or sometimes I sneak it into jambalaya or a stir fry or baking. So I'm going to seed these and shred them. I have this little zucchini from my garden I'm also going to shred. And then over here I have the smaller ones, a zucchini and a yellow squash that I'm going to stuff with this chicken mixture, and that will be dinner. So I ended up getting 3 bags of squash, and then I took the small zucchini that I didn't cut up yet and put it on the pan for the zucchini boats. Alright, if you hear a noise in the background, there's a terrible thunderstorm coming through. Here are the zucchini and summer squash boats made with the chicken filling. I am hoping to eventually share this recipe. I just didn't have time to film it today. But it has like smoked paprika and peppers and onions and chicken and mayo to make it creamy, topped with mozzarella cheese. Delicious. And then I went to the grocery store today to pick up one thing, but I noticed they had a bag of sweet potatoes on clearance. So I grabbed those and roasted those up to go with it. I figured I would show you a breakfast for Saturday morning breakfast. I have these sprouted oats cooked with an apple that I had, cinnamon, brown sugar, and some milk.